get
No. I don't want you to do what you feel you need to do. Follow your spirit and your heart. Because if you don't turn it up,
I don't need
your ass gonna get turned up. See, I'm telling you something. I'm trying to put you on. I know Shaw. You know, they not coming in this motherfucker to play no game. So you can hold it. You gonna have to relax and take this heat right now. I'm trying to tell you, bro, listen to me. The heat is, we're trying to get our people prepared for what's coming. This is the final showdown. See, we can't get emotional with this shit. You see what I'm saying?
I'm telling you that I've received it as disrespectful. If you want to ask me why, and I'll tell you, but it's very disrespectful.
You know what, brother?
What?
You're gonna have to, some way, be able.
Look, I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, I'm telling you, you're gonna have to, in some way, be able to be taught like a goddamn man. To be taught like a goddamn man.
You really? Dude, I can't fuck with this, man. I really don't talk. If we online. I don't care if we online or not.
I'm looking forward to February 8th.
Peace, my gorilla Hebrew. You know we got love for you over here.
All right, so.
All right, peace, my brother. Nah, these are my brothers, brother. It ain't about being a big fan of them.
Belief is one thing, you know, and evidence is one thing. But no matter where you go in ideological thought, no matter where you go in spiritual concepts, at some point, belief and evidence always seem to marry each other. There always seems to be, in the point of your scholarship, parts of things that you were searching for in trying to build evidence that you rest upon belief. No disrespect to my brother. He has the word believe tattooed on his neck right now.
That's right.
Why is that? At some point in his life, whether or not he embraces that now,
Right.
Belief was important to him.
It still is.
Regardless of not having measurable evidence and
Right.
fact.
Oh, I didn't say that.
Let me finish.
Right.
Regardless of not having measurable evidence or fact, and I won't say you this time.
Thank you.
I don't want to speak for you.
I appreciate that.
There are people who will tell you that they believe and they don't need the evidence and the fact. The problem is, in the scholarly community, we want the evidence and we want the facts. And as Hebrews, we're asking for that as well. We're asking for that. I'm saying the problem with that point of view I just pointed out. As Hebrews, well, we want that too. We want the evidence. We want to show you that we have the evidence as well. But I want you to come back to a certain truth at some point in your mind, based on, again, the tattoo that's on the brother's neck right now, where the word or concept of belief comes in. I know who my mother and father is.
Oh, you sure?
Excellent question. Excellent question. You right on point. I needed one of y'all to immediately respond like that. And with that being said, I give you credit. Are you sure? No, I'm not sure. But to this day, I still call my father in Hebrew Abba, and I still call my mother in Hebrew Ima. And I'm not sure. And like you pointed out, you're not sure, but you still run with it. Now, does that mean now that we can't say to ourselves that we can now go back and measure it? No, because today we can actually measure those things as facts. Today.
Now I gotta ask you a question on this, because you confused me just then.
You'll be both.
Are you saying you're not sure who your mother and father is?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay, so that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, break it down for me.
Quick point. I think Brother Reggie was clear on what I said.
Yeah.
I'll break it down again. And Brother Reggie, I'm giving respect because what he spoke just now came so fast and so instinctively real that I know that he understood it and internalized it as truth, because it was common sense as soon as he heard it. And he said, but are you sure? I'm sure who my parents are.
There you go.
And I don't need to go out and measure it by what the system is telling me is factually measurable.
Right.
Because I know that I'm sure. I don't need that.
Right.
So that answers your question.
You, brother.
But the point that I wanted to make, and Brother Reggie pointed out so perfectly, but do we know? Are we sure? At some point in scholarship, every scholar always encounters, if you're being true and objective in your scholarship, there's always a point in your pursuit of truth where you find things that you believe is true, but you have not confirmed in evidence yet. And those are the things that we are going to point out on both sides of the tables and give the people on February 8th.
That's one show.
And that's what's going to
Now,
speak.
we got to turn this shit up right now before my brother go. We talk about homosexuality in ancient Egypt. We talk about the Hebrews being enslaved for 400 years in ancient Egypt. We need to see the facts. Now that we got the grandmaster teachers sitting here on the couch with Saber Reggie and brother Saber Shakka, show us proof of the Hebrews being enslaved for 400 years. I'm going to ask you that question again now that you have these two brothers here that can oppose your question. That could,
or at least listen.
Right, that's a listen.
That was a great.
Show us the truth.
That was a great question. In rebuttal, I'm gonna say to you, nice try. That's number one. When I posed the question to Shakka, he made it emphatically clear that he's observing right now, and he's clearly, as we can see, he's taking notes.
Yeah,
there are key points in our argument that we have already agreed to coming into these forums right now that are leading up to debate that we are not going to go into at this moment. Now, when February 8th comes, and if you believe in your heart for some reason that we ain't gonna touch it now because we ain't gonna touch it then by all means, feel free to point that out if you feel it's not being spoken on. But I have to be true to my brothers above my pride and my ego right now, which my pride and my ego says, show them. But I'm true to my brothers before I'm true to any ego or any pride. And we stick into our script and we stick into our plan. And on February 8th, we are coming out.
Hold on, listen to him on February 8th.
We are coming out and bringing everything.
Bring it all.
Everything. And we want you to measure what you believe is facts as well, because contrary to popular opinion, this particular debate was supposed to be Kemet on trial.
And it still is.
We already had the Bible mysteries with Seti and Nasi Yashuva. We already did that. And a lot of people agreed on both sides of the table that Nasi won that one. Whether or not you two brothers sitting right here disagree with it is one thing, but I was there and I watched as the Kemetic conscious community looked with distraught on their faces. My brother right here standing, Sarnetta, couldn't believe that Seti wouldn't come out and finish the debate. No matter where you go on earth, when a king leaves his throne, if you envisioned him in the conscious community as being one of your kings, when a king just walks away from the throne, that's called you abandoned your throne. And by default, you are no longer a king. So here's what we want to leave you with. I respect whatever it is that you are bringing to the table that you believe will empower our people. And I want you, if you can see it, because that is our job, we want to present it as measurable truth that you can see, that is tangible, not just to your hands, but to your mind.
Objective and
our approach will be objective, right? Our approach will be objective. We're talking about methodology, which I've been saying since I've introduced myself to the community. I'm an extremely objective person. I don't just condemn the conscious community when they do various things that I find oppressive to our people, but I condemn our Hebrews too. And with that being said, objectivity speaks for itself. And I've greeted both of you brothers with nothing but respect. Regardless of what I've heard in videos and seen from all sides, I'm a different man. And when you are a man that moves with the spirit of wisdom, or if you're coming from the concept of ma'at and you move with what you call hakma, you said that, right? If you're moving with that, then that being said, a wise man goes on a vibe immediately. I don't need to go on anything else. Excuse me, I don't need to go on anything else that I saw you do with another brother. Because you know what? Like you said when you met me just now, today,
right.
I've never heard of you.
Right.
And you clearly feel to yourself that you have debated people in the past, that you went beyond. You beat them. You proved your point. You were able to stand on your circle and show them or present to them a series of facts that they were unable to disprove. So with that being said, in concept, you got some wins under your belt. But I want to tell you right now, in the spirit of intellectual combat, you ain't got no goddamn belt over here. Understand that. I'm here in the flesh. You don't got no belt over here. I'm a different beast. When I get on that stage February 8th, you're gonna understand clearly you don't got no belt over here.
Bismillah al-Rabb al-Khaliq al-Kareem. Begin all things with the illustrious name of the Sustainer Allah, the generous Creator. Peace is from the angelic being Michael, the one who existed right now and who could be found in ancient times and who will be in the end. And from the seven souls, the seven archangels, Gabriel, Uriel, Uzzah, Raphael, Israel, Woodwan, and Malik, who are in front of his great